Okay, so before we start, there's a new video on Moistski Live concerning the possible delay to the UK budget, and I will also be streaming on Twitch tonight at 8:30 PM GMT, both linked down below. Today I want to talk about Lorrie Vallow. So I guess I should say welcome to the Halls of Injustice number 8? Let me check my channel. Click, click, click. 8! Okay, we are on 8. Shamima Begum was last week. This is supposed to be on a Friday. I don't know why I keep doing this on a Monday. I do apologise. For those who don't know, Lorrie Vallow is someone I've actually covered on this channel before, because some rather interesting events have taken place, and it just keeps getting worse, to the point where I'm actually baffled how this has gotten as bad as it has for as long as it has, but at the same time, because of the state that she has an issue with, there is a lot of confidentiality, so there is some speculation. I don't want to rest too much on that, or hold any stock in it. For the moment, though, I am going to give you the Cliff's Notes of who Lorrie Vallow is, along with her husband, Chad Daybell. So Lorrie Vallow has 2 children. In the last video, I spoke about how they've been missing for a while, and how Lorrie Vallow is not doing any favours to the local government and, of course, law enforcement. One of those children came from her ex-husband. Now, it should be pointed out now, he's no longer with us, because he was shot and killed by Lorrie Vallow's brother, who's also no longer with us. That is also, at present time, being looked into in Arizona and, of course, in the state that she was in. When the husband passed away, he left a $1 million inheritance, not to Lorrie Vallow or to his children. He left it to his mother, because he believed that Lorrie Vallow was not capable of raising their autistic son if he ever passed away. The brother, well, he passed away somewhat randomly, unexpectedly, and yes, the police are looking into it. Her current husband, Chad Daybell, was also married, and in fact got married to Lorrie Vallow a few weeks after his wife, ex-wife of course, passed away. She has since been exhumed because after a few months they got a bit confused. It was quite the coinkydink that would not have occurred had Lorrie Vallow and Chad Daybell complied with a court order to present the children to local law enforcement. Why is that? Well, that's because the grandmother reported them missing, because they hadn't been seen in months, and, well, Lorrie kind of went off the deep end a little. And by that I mean getting closer and closer to a guy who has been planning for most of his life for the end of the world. You know, one of those people? Yeah, Armageddon, everyone. Legitness. Because of Idaho's confidentiality nature, not much is known with regards to what has been happening. Now, when the grandmother called the police went over, and Lorrie Vallow and Chad Daybell said that JJ was with a friend or a friend of the family's in Arizona. The police looked into it, because the kid goes through certain checks due to the nature of his issues. They checked Arizona. Coincidentally, that was where the brother was. Yes, he wasn't there. So when the police came back with a search warrant because she had lied to the police, which is a crime, she had fled and vanished from sight. In fact, the police couldn't find her for the longest time. I recommended, I believe in the video, that they send Dog the Bounty Hunter. I still think actually they should send Dog the Bounty Hunter, because she turned up in his neck of the woods. Hawaii. Interesting, right? Well, it's not as interesting as you think. In fact, the reason why she ended up there was because that was where she married Chad Daybell, you know, her fellow Armageddonist. Is that a faith? If it's not, it should be you should all worship the worms and the holy hand grenade of Antioch. So while Lorrie Vallow is busy with her doomsday cult, because that's what it actually is, if only they were worshipping that, the holy hand grenade of Antioch, and of course the concrete donkey, and not this nonsense, we would know more about where the children are and she wouldn't be so brainwashed. In fact, Chad Daybell has published a number of books planning for the end of the world, because he's a classy bish. At present, one of the cell phones has been found from the teenage girl, and that is Tylee Ryan's. Now, it was found with Lorrie Vallow, who is now considered a person of interest only, which actually fascinates me greatly. The priority of the police is to, of course, find the children, so they cannot speculate on the condition of those children until they are found. They just have nothing to go on, which is quite tricky. I put Lorrie Vallow here in the Halls of Injustice because I'm genuinely stymied by this. One of Lorrie Vallow's friends has spoken to Lorrie Vallow and said that Lorrie declared this media hype and that she was waiting for it to die down before she revealed what had been going on, forgetting here the obsessive nature of the American police. No offence, this is actually a compliment. When searching for answers, you guys don't give up anywhere near as quickly as our police. And that is a direct shot at the British police. They are quite pathetic. The friend is called April Raymond, and she did say that she would describe it as something a little more serious, a lot more serious, which doesn't do anything to help us, since the children haven't been seen since September in Rexburg, Idaho. The fact you fled the police after lying to them, the fact the children are missing, the fact that somebody had filed a complaint and you went so far away to avoid any trouble. I should point out, by the way, you cross state lines in a missing persons case. Oof. There are a number of agencies that are now working together to work out where the children are. And I'm just waiting for Dog the Bounty Hunter to get involved, because honestly that would be so cool. At present, Lorrie Vallow and Chad Daybell are hiding in Princeville, Hawaii. The mother was served with a court order requiring her to physically produce the children to authorities by January 30th, which means that the police now are well within their right to charge her with contempt of court and seek her extradition from Hawaii. But oddly, and this is the part I kind of understand but also baffles me, the police haven't taken any action against her. Now this could be because they are instead focusing their energies on finding the children, which I 100% support. But I am somewhat surprised they haven't regardless, because seriously, you got a court order. If you don't answer it or comply with it, you done goofed up. There are enough issues going on in Arizona, where they're now re-looking into the passing of Lorrie Vallow's first husband and her brother, in Springfield, Utah, where Chad Daybell's first wife's body was exhumed in the middle of December last year, and there are enough issues in Rexburg, Idaho, where they are still trying to find the children. This has led to a number of websites and tabloids speculating where they are and the condition of them, which is a concern because one should not speculate that, because it is a waste of energy and just shows people what could happen instead of what will happen. Which puts me in a bit of an awkward position, because realistically, I can only stick her in an ISO cube for two things at present. And that would be for lying to the police, which is an offence, and then for not complying with a court order, which I consider greatly disrespectful, discourteous, and, of course, illegal. There is more to this. I'm going to link a number of articles down below. My only real thought is that the children be found. Lorrie Vallow claims things need to die down before she says what happens. You don't get to negotiate terms, because this isn't going to die down. You made it worse, and because of the nature of it, it's going to get worse. It's going to keep getting worse. It is going to explode. Because of the fact a number of people have sent this to me, and I already knew about it, you can consider it international. There is genuine concern for the sake of your daughter and your son, one of whom needs help, psychological and medical, and the other whose phone you had, which is quite odd. Have you ever tried to part a teenager from their phone? Not the easiest task. It's a struggle with an adult. Now imagine a really angry teenager. With this, I want to know what you all think, because this is really, really weird, and I really want help. I will, if she says anything, Lorrie Vallow that is, I will make a video on it. If the kids are found alive, I'll make a video on it, but she'll still be done for contempt of court and for lying to the police. Those were proven, therefore she must be charged for it, and that includes Chad Daybell, the doomsday cultist, and his Pulitzer Prize-winning literature. Now, if I don't see you tonight over on Twitch, I hope you'll have a fantastic Monday, and thank you all for listening.